Cody Matthews was born on the 17th of September 1990 to parents Vern and Cindy Matthews. Cody's father Vern spent a dozen or so years in Civil Air Patrol search and rescue and was a team leader when he stepped down. He also spent over 20 years in the fire service in Southern California and was a captain when he left due to injury. He had extensive Red Cross and emergency medical training, often doing wilderness rescues. He was a wilderness survivalist, once living off insects for 2 weeks in Europe. All of these skills he passed on to his 5 children, including Cody. For his part, Cody grew up as part of the Fire Explorers program, becoming captain. He graduated high school and then studied at the University of Northern Iowa. Cody had a love of dinosaurs and anthropology, often taking part in archaeological digs. At college he was said to be an amateur rapper. He got the nickname MC4 due to his long blonde hair and reddish beard like Chris Hemsworth's portrayal in the Marvel movies. At the time of his disappearance, he was a senior anthropology major at the University of California at Berkeley. Cody enjoyed the outdoors, and although not a survivalist, he is capable and comfortable in the woods. Cody had studied American Indian traditions. He studied how they made tools and lived on the land, something he was going to put to practice. In early June 2014, the 24-year-old headed up to his parents' vacation cabin. The cabin was located off Spring Valley Road in Fresh Pond, Pollock Pines, near Highway 50 in the lower Sierra Nevada mountains. His parents were going to join him there, but Cody had gone up early as he intended to live off the land for the summer. The area is rugged and inhabited by large wild predators, including bears and mountain lions, but Cody was an avid outdoorsman and adventurer, so this didn't faze him. When Cody arrived, he was shocked to find someone had broken into the family cabin, ransacked it and stole clothing, jewellery, cameras, tools and other items. The damage and thefts combined added up to approximately $18,000, a large saw only capable of being moved by more than one person was sitting in the driveway. A camera meant to catch wildlife set up in the front driveway area was missing. The cabin had a security camera, but the line was cut. The side door of the house had been forcibly opened, bending the locking bar and destroying the door frame. Cody's first job was to secure the house. The news was obviously upsetting to Cody's parents, but it was only the start of their nightmare, as in within days their son would be missing. On June the 6th, Cody called his mum to let her know he was going for a short hike, and would call her when he returned to the cabin around dark. He left carrying a water bottle, a hunting knife, a compass, his cell phone and a bag of trail mix. He left all his camping gear behind, as he was expecting to be back within a matter of hours. Cody's mum waited later that night to hear how his hike went, but that call would never come. When his parents arrived, there was no sign of Cody. All that remained was his belongings, some leftover food and a pot on the stove, everything to indicate he would be back. Immediately, a search effort would be launched. Friends, neighbours and law enforcement, nearly 500 people, were involved in the search. Part of the problem, though, was that in some areas the bushes were so thick, Cody could just be metres away and no one would be able to notice him. The searches lasted 8 days, leading to disappointment as nothing was found. With the searches coming to nothing, investigators had another lead. Cody did at least take his cell phone with him. His cell phone pings were followed. It was clear he had gone on a hike, with pings in and around South Fork of the American River, pings that are accurate to within 300 feet. The ping showed him going back in the direction of the house before ending in the water, but there is no evidence Cody is in the river or on the banks. Footsteps were also found leading out of the river, likely Cody's. Having been an avid kayaker and lifeguard for a few years, Cody is no stranger to water, and the likelihood of an accident in the water was slim to none. For his family there was deep concern. The only glimmer of hope they had was they knew he could survive for an extended time period in the wilderness, even with the minimal provisions he had. With their boy out there alone, Vern and Cindy quit their jobs and moved to the vacation home. They were going to stay there as long as they needed. They spent the next weeks and months searching, putting up flyers and hitting social media. But if the job wasn't impossible enough, disaster was going to strike the family again. In September of that year, a huge blaze would break out in the area, destroying 12 residences and 56 outbuildings in the White Meadows area, including the home of the Matthews. The family had now lost their home, the home they needed as a base point to find their son, but more critically, they were hoping that with the hunting season beginning, to spread the word with posters and extra eyes that might come across some evidence or hint to Cody's fate. However, the fire had stolen that opportunity. Hunters with their keen eyes will not be there. Evidence is likely to be destroyed, and if Cody was still in the woods, he has likely perished. A gut-wrenching thought. Nothing much has been released since this point. The person or persons who committed the crime have not been identified, and it's unclear whether the break-in had anything to do with Matthews' later disappearance. Foul play is not suspected in Matthews' case. Authorities believe he had a mishap while hiking, though both the Matthews and law enforcement have a few theories. His parents do not believe he would walk away from his life. Cody had requested his parents bring a gun for him this summer, and he needed a new phone as his was dying. There was no sense in not meeting us. He had too much to gain, even if he did intend to disappear.